There's something that pilots say all the time that sounds inspiring, noble even, but it's actually keeping you from seeing the truth of why you actually fly in the first place. Today, I'm going to reveal to you the biggest lie in paragliding so that you don't fall prey to it. Are you ready? Here we go.
See ya.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm Ari in the Air. Welcome back to the channel. Stoked you're here. I teach high-level paragliding and I'm the founder of the Paragliding Men's Group. And over the years, I have talked to so many paraglide pilots. And if you ask them why it is that they do a fatally dangerous sport as recreation, they'll tell you things like, because it's fun, because it's beautiful, because it's a challenge, because I experience flow state, because it connects me to nature. And these things are all true. They're all real. What you don't hear is, I fly to feel impressive. I fly to get attention. I fly to feel special. I fly because I live my life in my head and paragliding is the only thing strong enough to have me feel something. You never hear these kinds of things. Here's the thing. We live in a culture that puts intrinsic motivation on such an ungodly pedestal that the rest of us just pretend that that's the only good stuff that we have in our hearts. And look, we all agree that intrinsic motivation is better. It's wiser. And we're all trying to move in that direction, to be motivated from our own sense of authenticity, doing what we want to do for the sake of doing it. But if we deny that we have extrinsic motivation at all, not only do we not move from extrinsic motivation into intrinsic, but we are fragmented and delusional along the way. And some people live and breathe this delusion. They cling on to these hardened identities of, no, I fly for the beauty. I'm intrinsically motivated only. Some men are willing to wrestle with their complexity and others aren't. If I know anything, it's that if you're willing to ask these hard questions and look at your inner world with deep curiosity, then things are going to get better in your life, not only in your paragliding. So let me ask you, if you only have intrinsic motivations, why do you take pictures and share them? Why do you check on X contest? Why do you fly with other people? Why does it feel great when you style it when people are watching? Remember the saying that life's better when shared? Yeah, it's true. And it's true for paragliding too. We're trying to take part in paragliding, and we're also trying to be a part of paragliding. We want to be seen, acknowledged, respected, belong. These are human needs. So admit it. You fly for the challenge, for the beauty, for the fun, and you fly to feel impressive, to prove something, to be seen and respected, to be a part of the community. And I don't know what your unique blend of all of these motivations are, but I do know that pilots generally are in denial about having extrinsic motivations at all. And we tell ourselves these stories that just pump up our egos, that we're like being interviewed on TV of like, oh, wow, you're so amazing. Why do you do it? Well, I do it for the inspiration and the connection to nature. Fuck, I love the connection to nature it gives me too. But think about it. Think about an X-Alps pilot. Do they do it just for the flow, for the challenge, for the fun? Or do they do it to prove themselves, to stand out, to test themselves against the best? Of course they do. Surely these guys enjoy the flow state and the views as much as anybody, but they also have extrinsic motivation to stand out, to be an outlier, and not just another random mediocre pilot. And should we shame and boo these petty idiots into silence? Of course not. We acknowledge that Duragati wants to be the best and he's like turns his life inside out with a sole laser focus of like being the best pilot in the world. We actually love that. We celebrate that in other people. It's just inside of ourselves we deny it. And who knows if any X-Alps pilot is any more conscious and self-aware than the average bozo. But my point is, when you can see both your intrinsic and extrinsic motivations, you can actually choose consciously and grow. When you can finally see that, oh, I might be flying to show off right here, or I might be pushing extra to get a few more kilometers, or I might be choosing my glider class to look like a really experienced pilot, then you can ask yourself, now that I know that I'm doing that, do I actually need to keep going? Can I just drop that entirely? Because if you crash into the mountain and break both of your legs and spend 6 months in a wheelchair, I promise you, you will investigate your motivations more thoroughly than you have in the past. something about wheelchairs that really helped bring to mind all your potential motivations, all your ego that was driving you, the validation you were seeking, your fear of looking stupid or like you are incompetent. And my hope for this video is simple, that you don't have to wait for the wheelchair, that you can start now. This is just an invitation. I'm not shaming you if you cling to your intrinsic only identity, but you could also loosen your grip on what you think you know as why you fly, and instead just start simply observing. What is it that you get from paragliding? What does flying do for you? How do you feel doing it? And what can you learn about your inner world by reflecting on your time around the sport? To help you do this, I made an AI-powered logbook that helps you log your flights and reflect on not just the flight statistics, but what happened in your inner world around paragliding as well. The link's in the description. Hope it helps. Thanks for watching. Love and lift. See you in the next episode.